We hear from the head coach, David Shaw. Coach, look, I want to get to you on the class here. Yogi just referenced the players who have dreamt about heading to the farm and playing at Stanford. I got to tell you, I had a really weird dream the other night, and I just want to confirm so the reporters in my brain, the subconscious reporters, can confirm. You'll never take the job at Cal. I had a dream that you became Cal's head coach, and Justin Wilcox was so upset he became Stanford's head coach. Like, does that mean I need a day off? I'm thinking about you guys too much?
First of all, yes. Second of all, you almost just ended this entire interview. I almost just walked off the set here. No, I am Cardinal through and through. I love and appreciate what they do, especially with Justin there. I love and appreciate Cal for what they are, but I'm a Stanford man, and I will be a Stanford man.
I woke up in a sweat, and I said, man, I don't know if I should bring this up during the interview with Coach Shaw or just leave it. So I'm glad you had some fun with it, because it really was an awkward dream, and probably even more awkward for you to know that I'm dreaming about you.
That's not a comforting thing for me.
Yeah, I think it's awkward for everyone. So let's just move on to your class right now. Take me through the excitement around some of the players that are going to be playing for Stanford.
Well, I think it's obvious when you look at the list. We wanted to start up front with the big guys. We took 5 offensive linemen last year. 3 of them played significantly. 4 of them, actually all 5 of them, got a chance to play this year. We're taking 4 more this year with hope to get another one in the next signing period. Length, athleticism, physicality. You get a lot of guys that played well in the state playoff games and won state championships and a national championship. But what we love is length, athleticism, and just that nastiness that we love our guys to have up front. You see the receivers, speed and athleticism, size. In our defensive backfield, just once again, length and speed. And this is a speed league. We need fast guys. I love the fact that we're going to talk about a kicker. We think we got the nation's best kicker. We think we got the nation's best long snapper. I think we've got a great group of guys that we're going to put together, and not to mention 2 very versatile, athletic running backs that can do a lot of things, catching the ball, returning the ball. So excited about their versatility. And then a quarterback of the future coming back off a Mormon mission that we're really excited about when it's his time to come in and play for us.
So many questions, Coach. We could do this for an hour. Loved watching and evaluating your guys. Also enjoyed watching E.J. Smith this morning. What did you think as you were anticipating his decision? Did you know what was going to happen? Take us inside what head coaches think when all the hats are laid out.
Well, as all of us know, when you get down to the crunch time with a great athlete, a lot of people want him. A lot of people are in his ear. A lot of people are pulling and tugging at him, both family and friends and people that know him well. I think Emmett said it best today, where this is EJ's journey. This is something that's best for EJ, and he took this very seriously. He's a conscientious young man. He's very bright. He's very articulate. But this guy can play receiver. He can play running back. He plays some wildcat running back. This guy's a return man. He's physical. He's strong. He's quick. He's agile. There's so many different things this young man can do. We can't wait to get him on the farm.
Is it easier to get a guy like him, or at least that position, knowing the success you've had the last couple of years with guys coming out of the backfield?
I would say yes. And I don't make a lot of bold statements, but I think when you look at what we've done, going all the way back to Toby Gerhart, Stephon Taylor, and Tyler Gaffney, and Christian McCaffrey, and Bryce Love, and Cameron Scarlett, you're looking at a group of guys that are so versatile that we are tailoring what we do to these guys. And so when you can see that and see the different things we can do with those guys, and these guys are not all the same. They all have different things that we accentuate what they do well. So I think it makes it as an easy selling point for not just one, but to get 2 guys in the class with different abilities and say, hey, you know what? We're going to use you for what you do well and give you a chance to go out there and be successful.
You referenced Christian McCaffrey. When I was watching a receiver going to your school, John Humphreys, I thought of Ed McCaffrey. I thought he ran like him right now in high school, Coach, 6'5". He fell in love with you. I talked to him earlier this week. How have you fallen in love with him?
So, Yogi, you and I have always seen things very similarly, and that was the first thing I thought of when I saw this man. He's long, he's tall, he's fast. But like Ed, very similar, at 6'5", to be able to drop your weight and break down and go through cones and run those stop routes, it's hard for a tall, longer guy, but this guy does it with ease. I think he's the most underrated receiver in America. I didn't see very many throughout the year that are in his class. This guy's a game changer. I think he led the nation in touchdown receptions. He's coming from a Stanford family. Mom and dad spent a lot of time on campus here. And this young man's going to come in, and we'll see what happens early on. But I think he's going to have a chance to help us do some really special things here.
Kind of cool to see him in that uniform right there with that picture. I'm sure a big smile ear to ear. Coach, I want to circle back to something that you just made a reference to a few minutes ago with some of the size in this class. Do you look at offensive line in particular a little bit differently? I just think, not for nothing, man, I almost feel bad for you guys, the amount of injuries that you guys have had to try to overcome and playing some younger guys. Do you manage that position in terms of the philosophy of recruiting differently, knowing just how critical it is for what you guys want to do offensively?
Well, I think this year taught us a big lesson about the volume, the number of guys you have to have. And we typically have enough, and the injury bug hit us and it wouldn't stop. So we survived the bulk of the year really with 6 healthy offensive linemen, and that's really low for us because we like to put the big bodies on the field and put 7 linemen out there and really get it done. We just couldn't do that this year. But bringing 5 in last year and getting those guys ready to go and bringing 5 more in this year, I know you're showing Connor right now that length and athleticism, that physical nature. A good friend of mine, Andre Kerwin, reached out to me from Florida and said, Coach, you have to look at this young man. He's a Stanford kind of a guy. And Connor's been that, and we can't wait to get him here, get him in the weight room. Before he walks out of this place, we think he's got a chance to be special.
So speaking of Connor, Coach, there was one snap that jumped out to me. I'd love you just to take a look at this one and offer the evaluation and expertise of him not necessarily playing offensive line.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, there's a phrase that some of our guys have, and this is not going to happen. But when you have great athletes that are big guys, Walker Little is one of those, and Foster Sorrell is another one. Where they talk about feeding the big guys. And when I hear that, I think about our running backs and our tight ends, but they're talking about themselves. So, but that's great. But that's what you want to recruit. You want a guy with versatility and athleticism and size and that mentality and that toughness. And I think about Drake Metcalf, our center coming in this group. Guys like that. These are the guys that are going to help us maintain and excel up front for Stanford football.
Yeah, Drake Metcalf. I've really enjoyed watching him, even his intangibles. You talk to his coaches. He's the guy that runs out with the American flag, leading his team out every weekend. Of course, one of the most talented teams in the country. But he and Miles Hinton, can you share your thoughts on these 2 other guys on the offensive line, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Drake is that guy in the middle. He's is what I used to refer to about Joshua Garnett. You got to have a fight starter. Somebody up front that's willing to start the fight and throw the first punch, and I don't mean that literally, but that mentality of starting to fight. And this guy could play tackle, this guy could play guard, this guy could play center. I love him because he's got the mentality of a center. And then Mr. Hinton is a mountain of a man. He's big, he's athletic. I watched him as his sophomore year play basketball. And a big guy with feet like that, he's got the versatility. He could play anywhere along the offensive line. But this guy is a mountain of a human being that just moves people. Big and physical. And the most scary thing about Miles, honestly, is he hasn't even started shaving yet. This guy is not physically mature yet. And last time he came to visit, and I don't know if he wants me to tell this story, last time he came to visit, he kind of got stuck in one of our chairs. Like he had to turn sideways to get back out. This young man's 17 years old, and he's one of those guys that you never talk about the NFL, but when he walks in the door right now as a 17-year-old, he looks like a 5-year NFL vet. I'm excited to get him here and get him rolling.
Dude who you've just classified as not physically mature at that size. I'd swap, Coach, the need to shave on a daily basis for just a couple more inches. I was waiting for that growth spurt to happen, and unfortunately, I'm still waiting. Can't thank you enough for spending a couple minutes with us, Coach. Looking forward to seeing some of these guys on the football field in week 1.
Awesome. Great to see you.